Hello, everybody. I'm back all by myself again tonight. Jason's still feeling under the weather. Doesn't want to go on live yet. Let's see. Paul is a little tired. He gets up early for work and goes to bed early for to get up early. So we wish Paul the best and Jason the best. Um, but we can do this without them. Okay. All right. First thing is the big news of the day is Pat Fitzgerald is out as football coach of Northwestern. He's been there for 17 seasons. He's the second most tenured coach in the Big Ten. Well, no longer. His 10 years over now. We'll talk more about that, and we'll talk more about the allegations and what kind of led up to it. But we picked up, since my last podcast, we picked up another commit, number 19, Jalen Watson. He's a cornerback. He's related to Fred Russell, who he's credited with a big part of helping him become a Hawkeye, and so that helped. And he's quoted as saying, "Who wouldn't want to come and play for Phil Parker, the best defensive coach in America?" Okay, the guy is giving some love and kudos to Iowa. If he ever was thinking about being a wide receiver at Cincinnati, it certainly doesn't show. It looks to me like he was a Hawkeye all the way. Okay, now let's get to Pat Fitzgerald. Okay, as you guys know, a couple of days ago, maybe yesterday, I can't remember when, allegations came up of hazing within the program of Northwestern. Okay, hazing and some allegations that we'll try to take it in a little bit order. But Northwestern University, they investigated it originally. First investigation decided that Fitzgerald and his coaches did not and were not aware of the hazing program, but gave him a 2 week suspension effective immediately. And I came out and said, one of the media guys who posted, I said, if this was in fact the case, this 2 week suspension means absolutely nothing because it's during the part right before media days and Big Ten, and then after Big Ten media days, the practices begin to go. So it doesn't hurt Fitzgerald. It doesn't hurt Northwestern to only have a 2 week suspension right now, probably during his slowest 2 weeks period that he's going through right now. Because I mean, anything that's going on right now, his assistant coaches could have handled. All right. Okay. However, more news came out as former players are coming forward. More and more former players. Guys, is this starting to sound familiar with the allegations that Kirk Ferentz took on in 2020 with all the racism? So this is starting to take a twist, and you guys aren't going to believe the twist that's coming up here if you haven't already read the articles. Um, However, okay, so the hazing is they say that if a freshman like made a mistake in practice or something, Fitzgerald would give a signal to his seniors that they need to do a running program, or also known as RAN program, which we now come to know as sexual assault program. And so honestly, and then his bunch of players came out this morning with the news, and I didn't even read the article. I just saw the headline where the players were coming out saying that there's no way that Fitzgerald knew about the hazing. Get off his back. Okay, but however, the university conducted a second investigation. So the second investigation turns up. Not only was there hazing verified by certain players, former players, several players now. And I'm going to read you some of this article that was written by 247 Sports tonight. Some quotes out of it, and I'll give credit to where credit's due here in a minute. But you're going to be surprised. Not only does the hazing thing come up and the sexual assault part come up, racism. Yes, where have we heard that before? Fitzgerald is accused of racism, and we're going to go over some of that right now. I've got this pulled up. Okay. All right. Okay. So this is written. This article was written by from 247 Sports, written by Grant Hughes. So Grant Hughes, I'm giving you credit. I'm going to quote you on some of this stuff. Okay. All right. Um, the firing came as a second investigation into the hazing conduct within the football program. Fitzgerald initially leveled a 2-week suspension on July 7th after an investigation did not find evidence that he or his staff knew about ongoing hazing. However, University President Michael Schill reassessed the decision after former Wildcat player came forward and reported the football program's hazing conduct, including coerced sexual act. A second player confirmed these details to the Daily Northwestern. Okay. Um, Multiple players have also come forward over the past few days to collaborate Fitzgerald's knowledge and involvement in the hazing program with ex-offensive lineman Ramon Diaz Jr. He was there from '05 to '08, and two other anonymous former players also accusing the head coach of cultivating an atmosphere of racism within his program. Okay, all right. Now, our Kirk Ferentz survived. He survived the racism criticism. Okay, this president apparently did their own investigation, and he just decided that he was going to take the players at their word and fired Fitzgerald. Aren't we fortunate that at least in our case, um, we had an outside investigation come up and found, yeah, maybe there's a little bit of racism going on, but basically it's just let's teach the coaches, what's going on and that kind of stuff. But so an outside investigation that took most of the summer, and basically the lawsuits and everything, and basically Kirk Ferentz was pretty much cleared, as was everybody else. The problem is the university and Gary Barta, without Ferentz's knowledge, decided to settle the lawsuit. So it makes it look like these 7 football players, they did win. It also looks like that their allegations are true because the university settled. Kirk was so adamant that they could win in a trial. He did not want to settle. Anyway, let's move on. Okay, so accusing of racism. Okay, all right. Diaz says I didn't feel like I could be anything other than white. The school student newspaper. He told the school newspaper, "We never felt like we could be ourselves. We had to fit in by being white or acting white and laughing at our own people." Anonymous player alleges that the team was segregated by race: white players on offense, black players on defense. A lot of people end up transferring, particularly off the offensive side of the ball, because it was very racially segregated team. Guys, do you think that it's true that Northwestern was racially segregated, and that was it intentional, or was it just a matter of who they were able to get recruited because the standards are so high to get into Northwestern that maybe they weren't able to get everybody that they wanted cleared in there. I don't know. Okay. Okay. But Diaz also corroborated these claims and says he was diagnosed with post traumatic stress disorder at the conclusion of his college career. The fact that I'm still going to a therapist and talking about these things after more than 10 years is indicative of the mental health state I was left in. I didn't even watch the football game again for almost 5 years after I left Northwestern. It was the negative of an experience for me that I didn't want anything to do with the sport. Okay. And the original hazing complaint came in November of 2022. The university received a complaint alleging locker room hazing at Camp Kenosha, which is apparently where the Northwestern Wildcats train. They train at Kenosha, Wisconsin in the preseason. An independent investigation led by former Illinois Inspector General Maggie Hickey began in December and found evidence to corroborate claims made by an anonymous whistleblower regarding hazing and activities and events. So there was an independent investigation. I wasn't aware of that. That's the first knowledge I've had of that. Okay. Fitzgerald denies any knowledge of the hazing in his locker room at the time of his initial suspension was done. I'm not aware of these allegations, he said in a statement. I'm very disappointed when I heard about the allegations of hazing on our football ground. Northwestern takes pride and itself in producing not just athletes but fine young men with character. We hold our students, athletes in our program to the highest standards. Okay. All right. And it just goes on to talk about his playing days, and then how he came back as a coach. Then okay, he's had two Big Ten West titles, 2018 and 2020. Um, during his time there at the program. Um, and only he's only one of four Big Ten programs to make multiple appearances in the league championship game. Um, yeah, Iowa's one of them. I guess I would have to say Ohio State and Michigan are the others. Nobody else has made more than one. Okay, that's fine. At least Iowa's one of the four, right? Okay. Um, nah, Wisconsin had made appearance in championship games too. Iowa lost to both Michigan and Michigan State. I don't remember who Northwestern's lost to. Um, Wisconsin has, because they won the Big West, so they've had to make several appearances. Um, three, and we know Michigan has been in the championship game twice. That's five right there with Ohio State. That's five. Yeah, they're just making a mistake, I think. Anyway, so where we at? Okay, guys, where are we at with that? What do you guys think about the whole Fitzgerald thing? And there's not a whole lot of details on the racism, only that the white people and the black people were segregated. And much like the Iowa allegations, the black players are claiming that they were made to be white, to act white, um, you know, act white and not act with their culture was. Um, so I don't know what else to say, but golly, guys, this is a big news day. Northwestern has lost their head football coach to firing, something I thought he'd never be fired. And I honestly thought he would go out on his own terms whenever he was ready. I really did. I think he was well respected by everybody. I think even Iowa fans respected him to a degree, um, just because he had some fire and passion in him. You love to watch him on the sidelines when he get worked up. More so than the Minnesota coach. Who just comes off as a jerk, a jerk person. But he gets fired up on the sidelines too. But I don't know what it is. You love to hate the Minnesota coach, but you love to love the Northwestern coach. Who knows? Maybe because we've had 17 years of him watching him play Iowa and beat Iowa in most of those 17 years. Okay. So that could be it too. But anyway, I just wanted to get it out there, guys. I wanted to get my piece out there. And honestly, originally I thought this afternoon I said, in one of the many, many texts that were out about this whole thing, that I said, guys, remember when we expected, when things with Kirk Ferentz were going south on the racism, we wanted to at least let the investigation be concluded, let the facts come out before everybody jumped to conclusions and accused Kirk of everything. And I said that today, and I got some agreement with it, that Fitzgerald's only been accused. We don't know if the players are lying or making this up or not. And I don't know why they would. But I says we just need to let the course of the investigation and things go, take its natural course and see where it goes before we say that Fitzgerald should be fired. And I know I was among the ones that said if it were true, he needed more than a 2-week suspension. He needed more. And I didn't know what at that time, but I didn't feel that this 2-week suspension hurt Northwestern or when you suspend a coach or something, it needs to hurt a little bit. Originally they were giving him where it wasn't going to hurt, and Fitzgerald probably thought, well, I got off with a slap on the hands. But later, did he know that his players were going to betray him and come out with the truth? And apparently, it must be the truth, because he got fired over those allegations today. And so I just find it funny that one coach had similar allegations, not hazing, of course, but racism, and survived it, and another coach didn't survive it a day after those allegations came out. You know, so crazy how this world works. But you can't put up with anything sexual. You know, that's just you can't. I mean, anything above like that these days, you can't do any sexual impurities. How do you ever you say it? Okay, everything must be above board, and so and I don't have a whole lot more to say. It's just I just wanted to get live on here. I needed to get some content out. I was going to work on something else today for more content, but I'm a little disappointed, guys. We didn't get any live people to comment with me on this because this show works best. This show really works best when we get comments on the show. And I really appreciate next time if we could get some commenters and watchers. I saw 2 or 3 of you were here watching. You didn't stay a whole long time, and I guess I bored you to death, or you just weren't interested. Um, However, I just want to remind you before I let you go that I would like, to get to 500 subscribers by the time football kicks off um, in September. When it kicks off in September, could we have 500 subscribers? That'll get me halfway to my 1,000 goal. All you got to do is hit that subscribe button and share it with your Hawkeye friends, because I know that not all of them here. And by the way, we got 240 plus subscribers right now. I got over 6.6 thousand subscribers or followers on the Iowa Hawkeye Sports Facebook page. Guys, if we could get all of you who are on that page and everybody on everything Talking Sports or everything Iowa Sports from Jason's page to come in and just subscribe and log in, that would be fantastic. We really could use the support. And I think if you do the subscribe button and click the little bell, or you don't I don't know if you even have to click the bell, but if you do that, then I have a chance. You have a chance to be notified every time I go live, and I don't have to go on Facebook and type out, "Hey, I'm going to be live in 5 minutes" or something like that, or an hour. Okay, I didn't do that today because I knew I had 240 subscribers, and I knew that they all would get a notification that we're going to be live, and I thought maybe some people looking for Hawkeye content on YouTube would find me anyway, and so I just want to say, help me get there, guys. Let's get to the first 500. Okay, let's get to 500. We're halfway there, or almost halfway there. Okay, let's just build it up. All right, build it up, Buttercup, as they say. All right, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to let you get back to your day. It's 7:17 right now in the Midwest, Central Standard Time on a Monday night. So I'm out. Have a good day, and if anything else comes breaking news, I'll be back.